TikTok wants us to make money. If you've been going live on TikTok hoping to make money and you just been getting a few viewers or a few roses, don't give up just yet. After going live consistently for over a year, I learned what actually really works, and I wish somebody would have told me, okay? Whether you're new or if you've been going live for a long time now, this video is going to save you time, frustration, and hopefully earn you a little bit more money, okay? Hey friends, I'm Alicia. Welcome back to Alicia's Life and Coffee, where we talk about content creation, monetization, and building a life that you want. One coffee at a time, okay? Your favorite millennial mom, okay? I don't gatekeep here. I started my very first live on July 11th, 2025. It's also my mom's birthday that day, right? So I learned a lot through this last year, and I compiled a list, kind of a part 2 of the video I posted in October of 2025, my experience from July to October of 2025. Today I'm sharing the biggest lessons that actually made a difference. Let's start off strong with battles. So I know battles can seem intimidating because I was intimidated by them too, but there's a lot of benefits to battles. There is. We're gonna start off strong with battles. So some of the benefits of battling is it boosts your engagement. So it just actively gets the algorithm of TikTok knowing that you're active and you're actually trying to be a part of this ecosystem. Battling also encourages your audience to obviously support you because who wants to lose? Most people are competitive, and you oftentimes get more gifts, okay? We'll talk about gifts a little bit later, but the one major part about battling is you will see a larger lump sum if your community, your audience is prepared and know that you are battling. Major tip. Do not battle everybody, okay? Check out your competition. Just because somebody offers or just because somebody invites you to battle, like while you're already live, does not mean you have to accept it. Also, another thing is, along with not accepting every battle, make sure that whoever you're battling has a similar vibe. Because some people that are like hardcore battle gamers, like that's what they do, and your audience and you might not be on that same level. It could be intimidating. Some battles, people yell and cuss and fuss, but that's a part of the shtick. Also, some people do duos where it's like four people battling against each other, so 2 and 2. It's just a lot of elements to it. So I always encourage people to try it out, maybe with somebody that you already know that's already in your like influencer content creator circle, and you can practice first. Biggest part of it, it really expands your community. Going live expands your community in general, but battling, because think about it, you're being showcased on somebody else's platform, right? Win or lose. And sometimes when you're losing and the other team is winning like big numbers, a lot of times they'll leave that live and come support you on your live. I'm just saying, I've seen it happen several times. Overall, battles can really help with your confidence, the excitement. It gets your community excited to support you in other ways. And again, it's another way to actually see monetization in a larger lump sum at a time. Now, gifting is a very layered, tricky conversation at the early stages, because you're going to look at it and be like, oh, I'm getting all these gifts come to me. But a lot of times, especially newbies to watching lives, they're gifting one-coin gift, which is fine. Something I explain to my audience is if you're doing one-coin gifts, the populars are known to be better for your live, boosting you out to the FYP. Again, people can do whatever they choose to do, but when you want to educate your audience, because a lot of times people would love to support you, they just don't know how. One of the biggest gifts that anybody could do is tapping their screen and getting their daily heart, which you would get at the top. Look at me, I'm acting like I'm on a live, which you get at the top of the screen, and that's something that you would just naturally talk about. Again, instead of using the word gifts, you're just encouraging your audience and educating them on what supporting a live host is. So what are gifts? So gifts are all those little like emoji like things you see, galaxies, lions, roses, as you know. Thank you for the roses, you know, the corn, like all those fun things. So each little picture emoji gift is worth something, right? So in the TikTok live world, a gift equates to a diamond, and a diamond equates to cha-ching dollars, right? It's kind of tricky, like breaking it down. I would break it down a little bit harder, and maybe I'll put it right here, the actual definition or explanation of diamonds, because It's complicated, okay? And each level that you make it as a live host, because it starts at the D and you can work your way up to A. They're called leagues: D League, C League, B League, and A League. And gifts, the amount of gifts equal diamonds equal $1 amount. Okay, so but my biggest point to talking about gifts is, yes, that's how you monetize, but you don't want to fully focus on gifts and using the word gifts. TikTok doesn't like that. So again, you don't want to focus on gifts. You want to focus on educating your audience and entertaining them, okay? Entertaining them, educating them. It has to be some value for people to want to spend their money, okay? Because at the end of the day, it might feel like they just sending you one coin gifts, but then they'll look up and they just spend $20 on you, okay? But you want them to feel worth, like they feel like that was worth me spending $20 on these random little roses, right? Another big one, this might be, are y'all listening? This might be one of my biggest pet peeves. I know it's impossible to call out every name, and I know I don't call out every name, but I think it's important to acknowledge when people gift you. Even if you're delayed in saying it, even if you just say, thank you for the love, everybody, like you have to acknowledge it, because this is something that's not a necessity. Let's be real. Like, this is not something that anybody needs to be doing, but people want to support. So I think it's important to acknowledge when people come in the room if you can, but especially gifters, and not just your big gifters, okay? Acknowledge the roses, acknowledge the populars. I'm not saying everybody got shuck and jive, but I do have little things I do for certain gifts just because it gets people excited. And then a lot of times people want to send more populars because this is the popular dance. In my early stages when I was still figuring it out, I used to do like the roses, but it was more just to be funny. My point is, make gifting fun and memorable so people feel like, oh, okay, she cares that I'm sending her these random emojis, right? And another big thing is, yes, again, we want to monetize, we want to make money and all these things, but the focus should be that you're building a community of people that are excited to see you, they're excited to support you, they're excited to spend $20 or whatever it may be on a galaxy to support you. So gifts are important, but cannot be the main focus or it's not going to work. They're going to see right through it. Okay, forums. Now, this is a small little tip or section. I know a lot of times TikToks, many of these apps give us so many notifications, so sometimes we overlook them, but TikTok has great forums, okay? And these forums basically give you like whatever's going on, some updates, any new things you need to know that you can and can't do on live. That's very important. New features, best practices. Oftentimes you can find this in your TikTok studio. Sometimes they'll send it as like a DM and you might just have to click it and go in to read about it. Basically, my biggest tip, actually, this is a big thing. Staying updated with what's going on with TikTok, because especially, and we're going to get into this later, if you take breaks, you might want to know what's going on before you jump back in, because the reality is TikTok changes a lot, okay? Now, it's very easy to stay up to date, but it's also easy to not know what's going on. Okay, so pay attention to the forums, the webinars, the little articles. They actually are worth reading. Okay, another way along with the forums, in the same place to go look for updates and things like that in your TikTok studio center, is campaigns. Now, it's a little bit of a catch-22 with campaigns, in my opinion. I think when you join a campaign, it's exciting. It gets your audience excited, like, oh, let's help her like move up in the leaderboard. But pay attention and read, because a lot of times it's so many steps, so many things that you have to do. And sometimes it can be discouraging, or you just didn't know all the rules and regulations to these said campaigns. But the campaigns could be in front of a different audience, get your audience, like I said, excited, the opportunity for more rewards and more money, okay? Because a lot of times, but again, you really have to stick to whatever the rules are and the goals, because moving up to the leaderboard when there's people who are on live for hours at a time, it's a lot of work, but it could be worth it. Also, another thing to look out for when doing campaigns is the amount of followers you have. That does matter, okay? Because even with me, with 11.2K followers over there, which isn't a little bit, but it's not a ton, I don't qualify for a lot of the campaigns. Like some of these campaigns, you gotta have 20K, 50K. And I'm just like, well, then why are you even sending me the reminder, okay? Anyway, so campaigns can be a good one. Agencies is something I get asked about all the time. I struggled with the decision to join an agency or not. So I did join one. And do I feel like it made a difference? I'm not sure. Also, maybe because I don't know, because I am consistent. I do feel like some of the benefits to being with the agency is coaching, having somebody kind of give you tips and tricks, having goals to meet. When I first got started, knowing that I had to reach like certain diamond levels and things like that. Is it necessary? Absolutely not. It's just not necessary, because there's plenty of successful people that aren't associated with any agency. However, I have seen some that are with some of the bigger TikTok or live streaming agencies that do well. But to get to that level, you have to be super, super, not even just consistent, dedicated, okay? My little hour to 2 hours that I do is nothing compared to some of the people who are with agencies. They usually do 4 to 6 hours a day. Okay, so I say all that to say it can be great, because sometimes they have tools, sometimes they have their own campaigns and competitions that they do, which is a good motivator. But is it necessary? No, it's not. But I will say, do your research, give it a try. I do know some of them have a compete agreement where you can't like hop from agency to agency, and I think you have to give a 60-day notice. But I'm not marketing for the one that I joined at this point, because I haven't reaped any major benefits after a year. So, but again, I do see some benefits in it, especially at the beginning, their encouragement of battling. That I will say for sure, because I probably wouldn't have done it if that wasn't a part of the onboarding process. So take that for what you may, but joining an agency is not a necessity. The biggest thing I learned as a content creator in general, but especially a live host, is consistency. The months where I was going live 5 to 6 days a week, every morning, okay? Besides Sunday. And then I did do some Sundays. I'm telling y'all, it made a difference. It made a difference in the way my community showed up for me, because if I did miss a day for whatever reason, they were looking for me, they were checking for me. And then that creates that urge, that need, that love that they feel for you, because they feel your genuineness and that you're committed. You get what I'm saying? People show up for you when you show up for yourself. People show up for you when you show up for yourself. That's all. I'm gonna leave, mic drop. Okay. Anyways, my point is, the consistency with going live really matters. It's every live is not going to be great. It's just not. Every live is, you're not going to make a whole bunch of money. Every live is going to have a bunch of views. It can be hit or miss, but I do see the benefit in being more consistent. You'll see a more consistent growth. It might not be drastic like this, but you'll maybe see like this, okay? One of my biggest tips to any new live host, this is the way to hold yourself accountable, is to create a schedule, a realistic schedule. Obviously, don't go above and beyond if you can't, but even if it's Monday, Wednesday, Friday, people like cadence. I go live every Tuesday and Thursday. Okay, I go live every evening at 6. You know, it just helps people be able to like show up for you. Oh, utilizing the event option under TikTok Live Studio, you could go in and book events. So then when people go to your profile, they'll say like, oh, she has a live that she's going live today or whatever. Also utilizing your stories to prep for your live. So like if you know you're going live at 6, it's 10 o'clock in the morning, go ahead and put on your notes for your story, going live at 6 p.m. tonight Eastern. Always put the time zone. The reality is there will be some lives where you're talking to yourself. There will be some lives where you might only have like 5 people, and that's okay. I treat every live 5 people, 15 people, 30 people. I remember one time I had like 600 people in the room, and that was crazy. I treat them all the same. It's the same energy you're gonna get. Now, I do feel like you feel a little bit more pressure when it's like double digits, right? So I think at the beginning it's probably best that you have under 20 people in your room, so you can manage it a little bit better. You can reach out. You can also go back and engage with them a little bit more. I don't know. I think that it's beauty in showing your community that you're consistent and you're giving it your all. My last thing on this topic is some of my best lives meaning like most engaged, most viewers, maybe even most money, or just most fulfilling for me, happen on days where I didn't even feel like it. That's the funny one. Or the ones that I didn't super plan. Those have actually been great too. But I do encourage at the beginning to have a schedule so your audience can be like, oh, I know Alicia go live every morning. Because now that I haven't been going live every single morning, people be like, I miss your lives. And you know, that just shows that they are actually invested in what you're creating. Okay, and lastly, I feel like I don't hear enough people talking about this. Okay? It really bothers me because I feel like the pressure of keep going is what we hear the most of, but not the other side of it. It is okay to take a break. I took an almost 3-month break, like 2.5. Like I popped in here and there, but like consistency wise, I did not go live consistently between February, our snowstorm, and May or June, because I had a lot of life things happening. I couldn't have a set schedule, and that bothered me. For me, I need the set schedule, but I also needed the mental break, because although I love going live, y'all know I love my brew crew, but it is very overstimulating. Your social battery be like, when I get off from live, I literally get off the phone. I just have to breathe, and I turn the music off, because it's a lot. Like, cause you're like at here. Even if you're like calm, you're still, your level is up, cause you're keeping your energy up for the people, But I just want to encourage y'all, like, for those who are for those of you who are watching this that are live hosts that already stream. I mean, y'all saw Casanat. He took a break. It is okay to take a break. It really is. Your mental health is worth it. I think it's important to explain to your audience, like, hey, if you're able to announce the break, I think it's helpful as a live host, not as a content creator per se, but definitely as a live host, because people do put you in their regimen and their schedule in the mornings and the evenings, and they look for you and they care. They actually do care. But taking a break is important, and I don't think anybody should be shunned for that. And I'll tell you this, I took that 3-month break, and y'all, I was not at the bottom. I was not D5. I was still, even though I was at like C4, C5 when I left, I'm only at like D2 or D1 now. That's not bad. That's not bad. The leagues matter, but do they? I mean, but I definitely think that talking about how healthy it is to take a break, even if it's a day, I think a week is good. Obviously, if it's your full income, because it's a week ahead, like, you should be able to take a week break. I also think it's healthy, especially if you have a daily live, to let your audience know you're taking a sip of water. If you need a second to not be talking, you know what I mean? It's okay. It is okay to communicate that. So from one creator to another, it's okay to take a break. So if I could leave you with one piece of advice, is when it comes to live, it really in creating in general, focus on building a community and focus on building relationship and not leading with the money, because the money will come. I promise it will come. You will see the results from your hard work. But when you're leading with it and you're constantly checking it, check your analytics, but at the beginning, the money will come. You're going to see $3. You're going to see 98 cents. You're going to see that. But when you see the 70-something dollars, the $200, then your mind will shift, and then you'll appreciate your community in a different way. If this video helped you, I'd love for you to subscribe, because I'm creating more content on growing and monetization. And let me know in the comments, what's your biggest struggle with TikTok Live? Because I might be able to answer it in the next video. Cheers.